Hey friend, Hector here from strongestech.com with this week's technique of the week. Okay, today we're going to be closing out the How to Improve Your Kettlebell Clean series. So, first part of the series, we went over the dead clean, and that was teaching you that vertical trajectory, right? Getting the belt to go straight from the floor to the rack position in the smoothest way possible, right? The cleanest way possible. Then in the second part, we went over the actual grip. So grip is one of the main issues sometimes with the kettlebell clean, because we can tend to sometimes get calluses and tears in the center of the hand. And basically what we went over is how to skip the center of the palm and most of the callus line and catch the bell with the hook of the fingers. That was the whole entire goal of part 2 of the series. Today, part 3 of the series, we're basically going to reinforce that part 1 with the trajectory and dropping the bell straight down, okay? And we're actually going to use a foam roller to do that. Probably thinking, well, foam roller, isn't that something for like self-myofascial release or something like that? Yes, it absolutely is, but I love using foam rollers for more than just doing some soft tissue work. And actually, we're going to use it today to really clean up your kettlebell clean and make all of your overhead movements, your front squatting, all that kind of stuff is going to be so much more efficient. So the foam roll is going to give you external feedback. So if you don't have a foam roll, and I'm going to tell you why I like this, the foam roll, especially if you're training indoors. If you're training outdoors, you can use a wall. This drill is what is known as the face the wall clean. So the face the wall clean basically forces you to tame the arc, keep the elbow in, and drop the bell straight down, right? So over the course of this series, I've been talking about not leading with the hand, right? We don't want to lead with the hand. We want to lead with the elbow by bringing the elbow straight back. And the moment that I bring the elbow straight back, the bell already starts to dump. My palm turns up. I catch it and feed it right back between my legs. So this is going to simulate a wall. Obviously, you wouldn't want to use the wall inside your home or even inside, maybe a gym that you go to for training purposes. We don't want to smack the wall, put a hole in the wall with a kettlebell, right? So foam roll, easy way to simulate this, and the goal is to get the bell to go straight down, straight up, and not hit the foam roll. So I'm going to do a few reps here. And I'm going to do the dead clean, just like we did on part 1. And then I'm going to show you the progression on how to do the full swing clean variation, where you actually hike the bell back between your legs, drive through the hips, and receive the bells into the rack position. So dead clean, I start right over the top of the bell like a deadlift, right? That's why it's called the dead clean. So from here, I'm going to drive through my hips and get the bell to come to the rack. Straight back down. Straight back down. I'll do a couple on this other side. I like to, for thought, position the foam roll slightly to the side. So clearly I don't want the bell right in the foam roll right in front, because I could possibly hit my head, right? So what I do is I basically just kind of position it over the side of where I'm doing the clean. So if I'm doing the clean on my right side, I'll kind of position it here on my right. That way my head can come down here, and then as soon as I clean, the goal is not to hit the foam roll. Okay, so I'm going to switch it over to this side. Okay, that way I can put my head down, hinge back, and now bring the foam roll straight up. Straight down. One more. And that is pretty much the dead clean using the foam roll. Now, we're going to repeat the same drill again, except this time, instead of putting the bell on the floor, I'm going to throw it back between my legs, drive through my glutes as if I'm doing a kettlebell swing, lead with the elbow as we talked about in part 1, and the bell will finish here in the rack position, okay? Really important part. I want you to imagine that you have like a string around your knees, okay? You have a string around your knees. This little triangle here, your goal is to throw, as you drop the bell, your goal is to throw that bell in between that triangle, okay? So essentially we want to keep the bell above the knees. We don't want the bell to go down, because if the bell goes down, that could put some stress in my back. And I want my hips to absorb all of the shock, okay? So we'll knock out a few dead cleans, and then right after that, we're going to go right into the actual swing variation of the clean. Okay, dead clean first. Okay, now instead of putting the bell down, I'm going to throw it right between that triangle and bring it right back up. Again. One more. Can you see how I'm leading with my elbow? I'm bringing my elbow straight back. So I'll turn, face this way so you can get a lateral angle of me. I'll just move this foam roll here. And now we're going to do a couple more, and then I'll turn and face this way so you can see my left arm. Dead clean first. See how I'm leading with the elbow? Let's turn this way. Move this bell out of the way so I don't step on it. So now the foam roll is going to be positioned to my left, because I'm going to be doing the cleans on my left side. Actually, foam roll needs to be positioned to my right, so I can clean from my left side. Okay? No, I had it right the first time. All right, here we go. So dead clean first. Okay, get it in front of me, lead with the elbow, hinge back, bring the bell straight back up. There you have it, guys. That is the dead clean transitioning into the actual swing clean. Okay, now the only thing that would change when you actually put this into practice after you've drilled it several times would be to completely start from the floor, to where you'll be one complete step behind the bell. You'll hike it from here, okay, and now you start from the ground. Okay, other side. And there you have the clean. That closes out this swing series. So part one, to recap. Part one, we went over the dead clean, teaching you how to get the bell to go straight up and straight down, right? And basically teaches you to tame that arc. From there, part two, we went over the grip. The grip is a big piece. We don't want to overgrip the bell, because that's going to cause the bell to eventually roll over, smack you in the wrist, and that's not good. The last piece is really reinforcing the arc tame, but now transitioning from the dead clean to the actual swing clean. So remember what the clean is doing. During the clean, you've got three actions that are happening. You're producing force, right? Driving with the hips, producing force. You're redirecting the force. So as soon as the bell comes up, you got to redirect it by pulling the elbow in. And then as you catch it and receive it in the rack, you're reducing force. So you got three really cool actions. So if you're a martial artist, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Karate, Judo, any of those martial arts is all based off of those three actions: producing force, redirecting the force, and reducing force. Okay, it's all about leverage, technique, and if you can learn how to master those three actions, you actually get that with the kettlebell clean. So it really kind of helps bridge those gaps between, you know, martial arts, and kettlebell training. So that's all I got for you guys this week. That's closing out the series on the kettlebell clean. Our next series, we're going to be opening up with the military press. That is probably pound for pound the best expression of upper body pressing strength would be the military press, because mobility, flexibility, all that kind of comes into play when you're pressing. So that's all I got for you guys this week. Study this, practice this. If you have comments, you have any questions or anything like that, leave it in the comment section below. In the description area, I'm going to leave some details on kind of what you want to focus on. Basically, just kind of recapping more or less what we covered in this this episode of the How to Improve Your Clean series. So again, if you have any questions, leave something in the comment section below. Again, I'm Hector at StrongAsHeck.com with this week's Technique of the Week.